My name is Chanel Stone, and I'm going to be talking about a macrobiotic way to life. So what is macrobiotic? It's a dedicated lifestyle. It's not just a diet because there's life choices that come from factors internally and externally. It's really similar to a vegan and vegetarian diet. However, vegan and vegetarian diets only cut out meat and eat accordingly. Instead, with the macrobiotic diet, we focus on certain nutrients that certain fruits and vegetables obtain, and we eat those particular fruits and vegetables. It's important to eat regularly and intelligently. You do not have to starve on a macrobiotic diet. Instead, we eat to lose weight. You have to eat intelligently, so that's obtaining the right nutrients. This is not another fad diet. We are not going to be counting our carbs or calories. We are going to be embracing our carbs, eating lots of carbs, which will promote better metabolisms and more weight loss. We're not going to be counting calories because we need to focus on nutrients. That's what's important. The macrobiotic diet isn't just a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's not just understanding what you can and cannot eat, but also how you can change your lifestyles to ensure better health. So next we're going to go over the macrobiotic lifestyle breakdown. As I mentioned earlier, it's not just a diet. So we have the macrobiotic diet aspect and we have the macrobiotic life choices aspect. For the macrobiotic diet, we'll be talking about everything that has to do with food. It's ultimately what you can and cannot eat. But it's not only just ultimately what it is, but why. So as I mentioned earlier, nutrients is a huge part. For the consumption of foods, we have portions. Portions is what we use to make sure that we get the right amount of nutrients. Certain types of food groups have certain types of nutrients, and by following portions, we can ensure better health. As I mentioned earlier, for meals, we'll be eating about 4 to 5 meals a day, and in that way, we'll obtain the right amount of nutrients. For the macrobiotic life choices, so these are the daily life choices that affect our health. These, with the macrobiotic diet, you can't just rely on food, because that's not the only thing that affects our health. Instead, we have external and internal factors that affect our health. External factors are the surrounding environment, so it's anything that surrounds yourself. It's things that we can't necessarily control but need to deal with. For internal factors, this is self-driven. It's completely on you, and it's on your own body and mind, and whether or not you want to improve your health through that aspect. So going more in depth into the macrobiotic diet. For the macrobiotic diet, we start with what kind of foods exactly from the bare minimum, and that's organic and locally grown produce. Organic groceries don't have chemicals or pesticides. It's a completely natural diet because we need natural foods. Good places to go to get these natural foods are farmers markets or Whole Foods. I suggest farmers markets because they tend to be a little bit more cheap. For the nutrients aspect, as I said, it's a huge part of the macrobiotic diet. It's responsible for nourishing our bodies. For beginners, we're going to focus only on the protein, fiber, and carbohydrate nutrients. For protein, many misconcept the fact that meat is protein. However, there's many bean and vegetable products that contain just as much protein. Protein is important because it's needed to maintain healthy muscles, tendons, organs, and blood. Fiber is another great nutrient that we need as well. It's responsible for keeping our digestive system healthy. Regular healthy bowel movements is crucial because it shows an increased metabolism. With an increased metabolism, that means that we're obtaining our food, taking out the nutrients, and taking out the rest of our food after. It's important to have a really good flow. For carbohydrates, another misconception is that carbohydrates cause you to gain weight, and in particular, fat. However, in the macrobiotic diet, our carbohydrates help us to produce weight loss and gain health at the same time. Moving into another big aspect of the macrobiotic diet are the food groups. So we have 5 food groups, starting with whole grains. Whole grains are going to be your largest food group. It's going to be about 40 to 60% of your plate. Whole grains are unprocessed grains. So that's the key, unprocessed. We do not want any processed foods in our diet. Some examples of whole grains include rice, brown rice, barley, millet, whole oats, corn on the cob, whole rye, wheat, and buckwheat. Moving into our second largest portion are sea and land vegetables. This is going to be about 20 to 30% of your plate. For the land vegetables, we like to use the colors of the rainbow in order to organize how many different vegetables we have. So examples of green vegetables are going to be arugula, bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, greens, Chinese cabbage, kale, mustard greens, radish tops, spring greens, watercress. For red vegetables, we have tomatoes, sweet peppers, and radishes. For yellow vegetables, we have zucchini, bean sprouts, marrow, and sweet corn. And for purple vegetables, we have eggplant, beetroot, and red cabbage. For sea vegetables, these are a lot more rich in nutrients than our land vegetables. So taking a look at your land and sea vegetables, you want to be consuming more land vegetables than sea vegetables because of how rich the nutrients are. Examples of sea vegetables are arami, kelp, kombu, nori, or wakame. Moving on, we have our beans and bean products. This is going to be your third largest portion, and it's going to be about 5 to 10% of your plate. Beans are actually one of your best sources of protein through this diet. Examples of beans are azuki, garbanzo beans, kidney beans, navy beans, pinto beans, split peas, mung beans, or soybeans or lentils. Bean products, also sometimes known as soy products, can include tempeh, miso, shoyu, natto, or tofu. Moving into our next food group are fruits. This is going to be the next largest portion. However, we only eat fruits a few times a week. The reason why is because it does have a high sugar content, but we still want to include this into our diet because it's low in fat and high in vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber. Examples of some fruits are apples, apricots, blackberries, blueberries, grapes, melons, oranges, peaches, pears, plums, raisins, or tangerines. Moving on to our next one is nuts and seeds. This is going to be your smallest portion. It is only 1 to 2 cups a week. The reason why we want to eat nuts and seeds is that it has high protein. I know it has high fat, but it also has high protein, and protein is extremely important through our diet. Some examples of seeds are sesame, pumpkin, or sunflower seeds, and some examples for nuts are almonds, hazelnuts, walnuts, pecans, peanuts, or cashews. That is wrapping up our macrobiotic diet. Next, we are going to be looking at the other aspect, which is the macrobiotic life alterations. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 2 different factors. We have the external and the internal factors. Our external factors are also known as environmental factors because it's all due to the environment. The 4 external factors that we have are earth, air, energy, and water. For earth, this contains all solid substances from large all the way to microscopic. So this is like food, which connects us to the earth. This also comes in the form of supplements, because supplements also come in the form as vitamins, which are crucial as well to maintaining our health. There's also drugs and chemicals. Some may be good and some may be bad, and everything is fine in moderation. As for the air, this is the intake of air. We need this to breathe. Smoking and machinery can definitely help to pollute our air, which causes us problems with breathing. We need to breathe constantly in order to stabilize our blood flow. For energy, this is the environmental exposure. The most common type of energy that we obtain from the earth is sunlight. We get daily vitamins from this. However, too much sunlight can always be bad as well. Another way we get energy is through meditation. We can do meditation and obtain energy from the earth in order to heal. Another form is through voltage or electromagnetism, which provides energy to repair and produce new cells. Our final factor is water. It makes up most of our body and the earth. However, when we add sugar or artificial sweeteners, it alters the form of our pure water and can cause health complications such as diabetes. Moving to internal factors. These are going to be the factors that you are ultimately responsible for. The 4 factors that we have are exercise, thoughts, prayer, and love. Exercise is extremely important because it allows our body to adapt to physical challenges, which makes us stronger when it comes to fighting diseases or cancers or illnesses. 4 S's that I like to say is stamina, strength, stretching, and sleep. For stamina, this is important because it helps us to lose weight and maintain a good cardiovascular ability. For strength, this helps us because when we're losing weight from stamina, we need to maintain lean weight. And then stretching is good for blood circulation. And finally, sleep. Sleep is extremely important because it's the way that our body can rest and heal. For thoughts, positive thoughts equals a positive mind. In order to be healthy, you need to constantly have a positive mind. A great way to do this is through meditation. Meditation helps to relax your body, rekindle your thoughts, and be able to think more positively. Next is prayer. This can be in any form of belief or religion. It's being able to look up to something that's larger than ourselves and being able to wash away any stress or sorrow. Having something larger than ourselves allows us to have hope through guidance, strength, and help. The final internal factor is love. It's crucial for our emotions. Unconditional love, forgiveness, and gratitude. It's very hard to practice these things, but as long as you keep working towards it, you can only get better. You need to be able to love oneself before loving others. For forgiveness, it helps us to release tension and anger. These are the things that can help us to become sick. But if we can release these, then we'll stay healthy. Gratitude pays dividends to others, but it also heals the soul. After going through the macrobiotic diet and the macrobiotic life choices, you may be wondering, so why macrobiotics? Why do I need to put myself through this labor-intensive lifestyle of dedication? Well, there's 2 factors and 2 ways you can live your life. You can live it with health, energy, peace, and harmony, or you can live it with diseases and obesity and diabetes. Living a life with health, energy, peace, and harmony is living without stress, living without anger, eating foods that replenish and reward your body. It requires a lot of focus, but the payoff is rewarding. For diseases and diabetes and obesity oftentimes is a warning to diabetes. Diabetes can result in heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, blindness, kidney disease, nervous system disease, pregnancy complications, and eventually death. Diseases and cancers are also deadly as well. Many of the diseases and cancers come from stress or anger. And a lot of these disease and cancer cells feed off of the sugary and salty processed foods that some of us eat, and it's not good for our health. So you need to ask yourself the ultimate question. What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a healthy life? Do you want to live with happiness? Do you want to live positively? Because it's something that you're going to have to face eventually. Thank you.